From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update. Your weekend weather update is made possible by Caltrans District 2.
Hey folks, good evening. I certainly hope you took full advantage of that nice weather here over the last day or two, but if you didn't, don't worry, because I think we actually hold a pretty nice pattern. I'm not even going to show you the futurecast for the next 24 hours because we're just fine. I think we have nice weather here for the next several days. Now, I will say this much. As we head into the first week of May, so we're talking over the next 7 to 10 days, we might pick up a little bit more precipitation. So that's kind of what the situation is that we're dealing with. We're really not seeing any precipitation chances for the next 5 or 6 days. Only towards the extended term do we start seeing that more active pattern creep in. We're talking towards Saturday and Sunday. You can kind of see in the big picture here, those slightly elevated precipitation chances there in the big picture. That's really sort of a sign of the times, right? We really just don't see a lot before that here. In fact, we see that warming trend take back over. It's this high pressure system that's really kind of building off to our west, protecting us through the rest of this week from those systems diving south, right? So we just don't see a lot of that. We don't see much of an active pattern, like I said, until Saturday, until Sunday, until next week. This system finally breaks through, and then notice there, Saturday into Sunday, it starts to bullseye right there over the North State. This is quite a ways out, so it can and will change. So its intensity, things like that, remains to be seen in terms of specifics. Of course, Mike will be with you over the next several days to see how that evolves, but I would start watching the end of the week towards next weekend for the possibility, if not downright likelihood, for a cool down, right? For the precipitation chances to start ticking back up. But over the next 5 or 6 days, doing just fine. I think this work week is going to have 2 thumbs up from me, if you ask me. I think we're doing really fantastic. Here's your wave height forecast. Looks like we're staying relatively very much the same over the last 24 hours and compared to tomorrow. About 30 or 40 nautical miles off the coast, so we're probably going to be creeping into double-digit wave heights, but for the rest of us here as we head further and further closer to the coast, 4 to 6 feet, and then 10 to 20 nautical miles off the coast, 7 to 8 feet there. So just a little rambunctious there over the next 24 to 48 hours for our marine forecast. Now, let's take a look at the lows for tonight because I think this kind of paints the picture as well. So across the area, we're still relatively cold, right? We're going to be seeing some temperatures in the 30s up by Siskiyou County. Here along the coast, we're going to be consistent there in the mid-40s. But some of us are probably going to start getting down below freezing pretty quickly here as we head through those upper elevations up by Doris and up through Tennant. Out towards Modoc County, Alturas down through Aden, we're probably going to be talking just above freezing there. But out towards Plumas County, last Volcanic State Park, you're probably going to be there in the 20s. Down there at Chester at about 31 there, but down towards Quincy, upper 30s near 40. Now through the valley, of course, we'll be in the upper 40s, lower 50s. And of course, as you head further south, Chico down to Orville, probably going to be hovering there in the lower 50s when all is said and done. So some of us there in the upper elevation still going to have to take those plant precautions as you head through tonight. But let's take a look at the big picture, see how those highs and lows evolve over the next 7 days. Trinity County for tomorrow, we're probably going to be hovering there in the lower to mid-60s as you head through tomorrow afternoon. Notice those lows and those highs starting to creep up as you head through the midweek here. Pretty much clear skies for the foreseeable future. That really is the reinforcing high as we head over the next 5 to 7 days. Along the north coast, very consistent, holding steady in the mid-50s for today, but even us out here will probably creep up into the 60s by Thursday and a Friday whenever we've had those few days to really build up those temperatures and have those clear skies take hold. Up here by Del Norte County, head a little further inland, you got those 60s starting to take back over, but I think mid to upper 50s is going to be the story here along the coast as we head there. Now towards Siskiyou County, upper 50s, I think is kind of the big picture here. Happy Camp right there, kind of right there around 61. You know, some of us out here east, McLeod portions there, you might hit the lower 60s, but I think, again, most of us are going to be there in the upper 50s. All bets are off, though. Take Mount Shasta City, for example. You got those 60s and 70s taken over by Thursday and into Friday. Again, like I said earlier, that's the sign that you've had several days to really build those highs up, and you really see the impacts of it there. Out towards Modoc County through tomorrow, we're going to be holding pretty steady there. Mid-50s is the story. Out towards Alturas, though, 60s and 70s. Thursday and Friday, bet on it there. I think we're going to be seeing that there, but Saturday and Sunday, yeah, looking a little shaky. Not quite as much there, but that's still, like I said, quite a ways out there. Eastern Mountains out towards Plumas County, 60s, especially in the lower elevations, Greenville down to Quincy. You might see a 70 here, maybe 1 or 2 of us there. Don't think it's going to be particularly widespread. You head out towards Janesville and Doyle, though, you start getting back into the mid-60s. Now, I think the valley, as usual, is going to be our winner for the temperatures here over the next several days. 80s, even mid to upper 80s possible by the end of the week down here. But for tomorrow, mid-70s, kind of reasonably bet on that. Lakehead up to Red Bluff, lower to mid-70s. I think it's going to be a few degrees cooler here, but even us will be in the 80s, of course, as we head towards Thursday and Friday. Thanks for joining me for these forecasts over the last couple of days. Of course, Mike will be with you as this forecast evolves over the next several days, and I'll see you next weekend.